The mics are on. They're hot. I didn't say anything wrong.
I said you did.
One time I did.
I know.
Not tonight, but one time I did.
You've done it in the past.
Yes. All right. Does anybody see if Amada's coming? Miss. Oh, there she is. I didn't see you. Jaime's big head was in the way.
Thanks.
You ready?
I missed it. I'm so glad you missed me if I'm not sitting here.
I didn't. Yeah, I missed
It was
you.
a test.
You ready?
I'm totally ready.
You have the. I think you have
I'm
invocation
gonna make
too.
it up. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, did you want to do something?
You ready?
No, I already did.
You ready?
No. I mean, I did that thing. No.
No, I'm talking here, Nando.
Call the roll, please.
Mayor Bain?
I'm here.
Here.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Zapata?
Here.
Councilman Aranda.
Here.
Please stand for invocation. Councilwoman Mitchell has. I mean, Zapata.
Yeah, just because we're women, one or the other, right?
It's one or the other.
Dear Lord, thank you for the opportunity, the privilege that each of us here on the dais has to support and listen to the residents in this community and to serve this precious community. I'd like to take a moment, have a moment of silence for Margaret Watson, who has passed away since between our last meeting and now, if I may. Amen.
Okay, we're going to say the pledge. Right hand over your heart. Hats off. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America
and
and
to
to
the
the
republic
republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Okay, we have the swearing in ceremonies of police officers. Captain Jimmy Dill is going to do the honors. Chief is out of town.
Good evening, Council. If I could, Officer Marrero and Officer Borges, please join me up here. Step right up. First time jitters. Please raise your right hand. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Florida against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will hear truth, faith, and allegiance to the same, to uphold and enforce the laws of the United States, the State of Florida, County of Miami-Dade, and the City of Miami Springs. That I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservations or purposes of evasion. That I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of police officer of the City of Miami Springs, acting to the best of my ability. So help me God. Thank you, gentlemen.
Congratulations. Wait, let me get out of the way.
One other thing I could say, Chief Guzman has already sworn these two gentlemen in. They've been on the road now for over a week and seems to be enjoying themselves and doing a very good job so far.
Do you want to allow them to get their families, take pictures with your families? You want them to come up? Take your, go ahead, take your.
Officer Borges first. Family of Officer Borges. Can I get one more person? Yeah, so
Yeah, whoever you want.
absolutely. Please. Anyone you're
Your
here
time.
with you? Anybody? Please. Right now. Oh, very good.
Oh my God, it's a magnifying glass. Let's do.
Anna, one more picture.
Mhm. I know.
Yeah, I saw your post on there, yeah.
All right. You're good. You two, you two young officers, remember the faces up here, okay, when we get stopped. And you don't have to stay. If you all want to leave, you can leave. You know, you're not forced to stay. Okay, it's up to you.
They're gonna run out.
Tom, you don't like that scene? That's your scene. Norm.
Angeline, Nikki it's got his groove in it.
Norm.
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 Angeline, you want to come up here? Pioneer. Pioneer.
Nikki Jester.
Nikki Jester.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why not? You're welcome. This is some neat things we get to do up here, you know, to recognize a pioneer like you. Recognized for 57-year resident of Miami Springs for your valuable contributions to our community and having the vision to recognize the beauty and potential of the city of Miami Springs. It's presented to you this 14th day of October 2019, and this is, well, she could tell me my nickname, but this is something that she's been very much in the women's club and the mansion, and it's done a lot of different things for our community, and it's well deserved. Congratulations.
Thank you. What? A speech? Have you got an hour? All right, I'm through.
Yo, say what you want to say. I'm never going to stop you. Never have.
Oh, love you. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Okay. You gonna go take a picture? You gonna take a picture? Got it? You got it? Okay. Got the baseball.
Thank you, Nikki.
Tonight, now we're recognizing fella Adrian Morales. You want to come up here? Well, it's the first time I know your real name.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give the nickname out because
Don't
that
do it.
wouldn't be the right thing to do because
Not
you're going to,
masculine enough.
you're, and that's for sure. And plus, you're going to be a head baseball coach of the Miami-Dade County, the youngest in history.
Yeah.
You graduated of Miami Springs High School in 2000, and what was it, seven? Got drafted by the Houston Astros,
Yeah.
decided to go to South Carolina, went there, and then got drafted again by the Kansas City Royals.
Won back-to-back national championships at South Carolina.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, you know, he had this all in my mind. If you would let me go in my own
You're a
order.
little older.
Yeah. Well, now I'm going to tell him your nickname. So anyway, he coached in different places here. The Gamecocks here was right there, back to back. And he coached. Where'd you coach at? You went.
I coached at Coral Gables for a year, and I coached 3 years as an assistant at Miami-Dade, and now I'm the head coach at Miami-Dade.
Yeah. So the youngest head coach. So I was thinking that somebody should have invited the high school baseball team here tonight because they got maybe a nice connection to go and play some ball in college. And this is a 4-year school now, right?
Well, it's a 4-year school for school, but it's a 2-year program for sports.
Yeah. I played for Miami-Dade South.
Yeah. I
And
know.
there was Dade South, Dade Downtown, and Dade North.
Yeah.
But now they
It's just
consolidated.
south.
What's your name? The Sharks, isn't it?
The Sharks. Yeah.
Sharks. Well, congratulations. Another Miami Springs grad that's doing great things for our community and for people. Take it,
Yeah, I got my daughters here, Penelope, Alejandra, girl from Maria Sanchez since we were like in 6th grade. Thank to you and your family, because throughout high school and college, you guys were there for us, and we really appreciate that.
I appreciate that. Thank
Yeah, man.
Holly Baines here. She helped get this coordinated. All right. Best of luck to you. You guys did good. No, you could go too. Yeah, you could go too. Just because you got an award, you can still go. You could go too. Thanks, man. You're welcome. That's pretty neat, you know. You see a kid grow up from 15 years old, 16 years old, and now he's a head coach.
He's speaking of the Gamecocks. How about him knocking off Georgia Saturday?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I had that whole thing situated how I was going to do it, and he just blew it for me. No, he blew it because I had it in an order I was going to go. I read it all over before I started. That's okay.
He did
He
good.
did a good job.
He did fine.
Well, I know. It's just
You did a fabulous job.
I'm just
Mayor.
complaining a little bit.
You did.
We are okay. We're going to do the electric cars now.
Hey,
Finally, it better work this time, or
I'm
somebody's
here.
going to get in trouble. You're going to get new. The floor's going to be tore up in the office. Yeah. You got the floor. Introduce yourself.
thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm Jean-Marc Trollard, and I'm an electric vehicle driver. I'm very enthusiastic about this new form of energy, and I'd like to provide, at your request, some useful information about electric cars and charging station. Okay? So I made, at your request, a little presentation, a few slides, and hopefully that's going to bring some information about electric vehicles. So, there you go.
There you go.
So why are there electric vehicles today? Well, the transportation sector is now the largest source of carbon dioxide, that's the CO2 pollution in the United States. Perhaps we don't realize it, but every day we inhale those toxic gases from gasoline-powered vehicles, which are extremely harmful to our health. On the other hand, electric vehicles don't pollute. So what kind of vehicle are on the road today? There are basically 4 types of vehicle on the road. You have your basic gasoline-powered car, has an internal combustion engine. And then the next type of vehicle is a hybrid car, like a Toyota Prius or a Ford C-Max. It's a car that has a gasoline engine and has a little battery that powers the car, so the car can, at very slow speed, go on electrical mode. Then the third type of vehicle is called a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. It's a vehicle like a Chevy Volt, basically, that has 2 engines, has an electric engine and has a gasoline-powered engine. With the electric engine, the vehicle can ride about 50 miles until the battery is depleted, and then the gasoline kicks in. And finally, the 4th type of vehicle is an electric vehicle. It's a vehicle that's powered 100% by battery and has an electrical engine. All right, so those are the 4 types of vehicles. Here's the carbon footprint. You'll see on the left side, I took a couple of pictures of a parking spot. One on the left has a soil with oil leaking from a gasoline car. And as we know, the oil leaks on the ground and causes pollution in our water supply, water that we drink. The right picture shows a parking space used by an electric car. It is spotless because electric vehicles don't have any oil. So there are many benefits about driving an electric vehicle. First of all, saves money. It's much cheaper to power and has a very low maintenance cost also. Electric vehicles save time. There's no more stop at gas station. Most of the people who drive an electric car charge the car at home. You plug the car in the evening, you wake up in the morning, the car is fully charged, and here you go. You know, remember, we use our car 99.9% of the time to commute to work or to run errands, which is an average of about 25 miles per day. Very rarely we use our cars for a very long distance, but now electric vehicles can go very long distance. Driving electric improve rides. There's an immediate torque and acceleration into an electric car. It also protects everybody's health. We breathe cleaner air, and it protects the environment. It's no more drilling and oil spill on our coast. And also, one important point, when there's a hurricane coming, you know, electric vehicles don't need to go to a gas station to refill. We basically charge at home, you know, and until there's no more electricity. But then in that case, our life stops. It's a very low energy cost to ride an electric car. The cost per mile is about 3.5 cents per mile versus about 10 cents per mile for a gasoline power car. As long as your car gets 23 miles per gallon and a gallon of gasoline costs $2.25. There's almost no maintenance on an electric car. There is no fluid, there is no oil. So the cost of maintaining is very low. There's about 20 moving parts in an electric vehicle versus about 2,000 into a gasoline power car. Just to give an idea, I drive an electric car. For the past 2 years, I spent $10 on maintenance on my car. Basically, I changed the filter in the cabin. That's all I did. The price of you have a comparable here of a price of an electric car versus a gasoline power car. It's a little bit more expensive at the beginning to buy an electric car at this time. But again, you know, the cost of energy is much lower on an electric car versus a gasoline power car. Cost of maintenance is much lower. So after 10 years, you have here on this description, you know, a much lower cost of about $10,000 to compare versus on a gasoline power car. There's many benefits also. The government is offering $7,500 tax credits when you buy a new electric car. And there are also some local benefits from the states and from the utility companies also. So there's plenty of benefits to promote people to buy electric cars. I say electric cars the future, but it's not really the future. They are here. There are many of them on the road today. And according to a AAA survey, 1 in 5 American person plans to buy an electric car as their next car. There are semi-trailer trucks that they're being developed by Tesla and other companies. Pickup trucks will be launched soon by Tesla and Rivian, and Ford is coming up with an electric F-150 also pretty soon. Harley-Davidson just launched an electric motorcycle called the Livewire. Has a 146 mile range. Just to give you an idea, Amazon and Ford are investing a lot of money into that technology. Amazon just invested $800 million and Ford $500 million as an investment into the Rivian company that's currently coming up with 2 vehicles. And most of the electric cars have a range of between 200 to 300 miles today, and some even going more than that. In the future, we'll have ranges of about 500 to 600 miles. I put here also at the bottom, which is going to be part of the next slide, a breakdown of sales. I mean, California takes 50% of electric vehicle sales in the nation. New York is the second state with about 5%, and Florida comes third with about 4.2%. So this is to give you an idea of, number of sales has been since last 2 years ago. 2017, just under 200,000, and in 2018, 361,000, which is a 74.5% increase compared to the previous year. Just also remember that 10 years ago, there was no electric vehicle on the road. So it's really like a booming business at this time. So electric cars are here today. The average price of electric vehicles is about $36,000 today. Some are much less than that, especially when they are pre-owned. There's many incentives to buy an electric car. As I mentioned before, the federal government is offering $7,500 of tax credit when you buy an electric car. And there's lots of subsidies from the states and utility company like FPL, for instance. Recently, I think FPL had a certificate offering $3,000 on the purchase of a Nissan Leaf. Here's an investment made by many car manufacturers, for the years to come. BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Ford, GM, and some foreign company like Volkswagen, for instance, that has, big investment in electric vehicle and electric charging station because of the diesel settlement. Charging station, electric vehicle needs to be charged. As I mentioned before, most of the people charge their vehicle at home in the evening, so wake up in the morning, vehicle is fully charged. But while they're on the road, they also need to be charged, especially for people who visit the area. They'll be looking for a charging station. So there are currently about 70,000 charging stations in the United States, and Florida has about 3,400 charging stations, which is about 5% of nationwide charging station. In the news recently, we saw Governor of Florida talking about the money we receive here in Florida from the Volkswagen settlements. It was about 166 million given to the state of Florida. 15% of that money, which is $25 million, is going to be used to install charging station. So it's free money to take and to use. The rest is going to be given to local government to replace aging diesel vehicles, more specifically school buses and shuttles. Tesla, they have their own charging station. It's a proprietary product, so only Tesla car can charge in the Tesla charging station. There are about 1,600 supercharger stations all over the U.S. with a total of about 14,000 superchargers to charge the cars. Here's the timing to charge an electric car. That's most of the question I have sometimes when I talk about electric cars is how long does it take? Well, it depends on the level of charging that's available. An electric car comes equipped with a cable, which is called a level 1, and that's the one I use at home, for instance, to charge my car overnight. So that charges very slowly, about 5 miles for every hours of charging. Then there's level 2, like the charging station you have installed at the golf course, for instance. It's a level 2, and it's powered by 220 volts, and that provides about 20 miles of range for every hours of charging. And then going beyond that, there is something called CCS or CHAdeMO that charges an electric car up to 80% in less than 30 minutes. coming up soon, there'll be charging station charging 80% of electric cars in less than 10 minutes. They're already there in California. How do you find charging station? But there's plenty of apps. There's an app for everything in our cell phone today. There's one called the PlugShare, and PlugShare, you can find any charging station in the world. Has a Google map. Basically, our charging station at the golf course in Miami Springs here is also indicated on the PlugShare app. And many events to promote the advancement of electrical vehicle in the United States, something called the National Drive Electric Week that happened to be mid-September this year. It's once a year, and it promotes the advancement of electric vehicle. So I try to make it short and give as much information as possible, and thank you very much for the opportunity to be speaking tonight.
Sure. Thank you for
Thanks so
doing
much.
that, taking
Thank
the
you.
time. I got one question.
Me too.
Huh?
Me too.
One question. Insurance. Is it any different in cost? Is less or is more? Or
I believe the insurance is much lower. When I switched from my gasoline car to the electric car, my premium went down substantially.
Okay.
It's not a sports car. It's difficult to steal an electric car, so I think it shows on the premium, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor, I'd just like to let people know that I'm doing my part. I bought a 1971 Volkswagen, so I can use it. I'm almost there. I'm almost with you, but
Good
I'm
for
getting
you.
there.
Good for you, sir.
Thank you.
Is it
Thanks so
electric?
No.
No, no.
Thank
I have
you.
Mayor, I have a question. I have a serious question.
Electric Beetle.
Don Luke, he has a question.
I have a.
Here's
I have
one
a
question. I'm
How
sorry.
does that the credit work? Is that towards the price of the car, or how does that work?
It's a tax credit, so you basically deduct it from your tax return.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. That gives people, anybody watching, the option. There's always an option, and there's always something. If you want to do it, you can.
Yep.
Thank you for the presentation and the patience to come up and do it. Thank you. Cool. All right, we go on to Sylvia Arguelles. Somebody's supposed to help me with names over here. So
Hello, good evening, Mayor and council members. I've been here probably since '77, and a friend of mine is promoting something called Hugfest. They started off in Austin, Texas, and it's to promote peace, love, happiness. You grab a bunch of people and you plant yourself somewhere in the city. Right now, he's got some group doing it in North Miami. He's doing it also in Wynwood. And when I saw him promoting this in social media, I thought, well, why not Miami Springs? Miami Springs is such a lovely, warm and fuzzy place. Others can complain, but, I've been here long enough to know that we do have this sense of community. And there's a group of people here a large group of people that actually do show this compassion for communities. I mean, we do that for our elderlies all the time. So he wanted me to speak to kind of talk a little bit about it. It's a one-day event, and it's going to be, it's already being held, it's going to be organized in different places already. And that day, people are going to show their videos for 2 hours. We hold up signs, free hugs, and anyone who does want to come up and get a free hug can. We don't go around hugging people. I've never done it. I just think of it as a beautiful thing. It's like an act of compassion. My daughter, I told my daughter about it, and she was like, "Oh no, I don't want people touching me." I'm like, "Well, it's showing a whole different avenue." But anyways, I don't know what it's gonna look like. It's like a 2-hour event. I'm thinking if we can have a little camp right there off of Curtis Parkway. It's on a Sunday, just from like 10 to 12. And I don't know, it may or may not work. I want to kind of help promote him and his company. He has a company that supports mental awareness and supports for suicide prevention. So it's a really great not-for-profit idea. So I mean, I have
Well,
no idea what the details
I think what
are.
we got to do is he's got to get here.
Okay.
And he's got to make a to the
Been
city.
talking, right? Has he been talking to you?
Not yet.
No.
Yeah.
So
okay.
you know we've talked about this almost a month now. He hasn't contacted, and I also feel like it would be something he has to get a hold. But I think if it's going to work, because Miami Springs people aren't huggers, so
Aren't huggers.
Some people are.
There might be 10 of us.
they're not. But but anyway, my thought was this would be something that could be run through a club.
Yeah.
One of our clubs.
Right,
and,
right.
And
Like the Rotary, maybe.
something.
It's just, I guess,
No, I'm
I
just
guess
saying-
we
I'm
haven't
just
found a
throwing out-
group to
I'm throwing out
support
ideas,
it.
but he's gonna have to contact the manager and do a legitimate presentation of what's going on. But you called me,
Yeah,
and you talked to Mayor
and-
Dino about it. Of course, Mayor Dino said to talk to Mayor
Talk to
Payne.
you about it,
But whatever. I mean,
I don't know. I
think that's what we
guess I
gotta
don't know
do.
why I couldn't get him to come and present, but,
Yeah,
I
but-
thought it was just a few words to just get the word out.
Well, the word's
and-
out. You got to get the fella that does this in
Come here.
with the manager and do something if he wants to bring it up and present it to us. And if any club that is out there, some clubs here tonight, any clubs that might be interested in working with them once you find out what it is, right? I mean, you love hugging me all the time. Yeah, you do. So that's
There are just a
that's
few
my
huggers,
suggestion.
maybe.
We appreciate you coming up.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very
All right,
much.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we have another presentation. This is from Miami Springs High School. Nicholas? Nicholas Acosta.
All right, good evening, everyone. Mayor, council members, and residents of Miami Springs. My name is Nicholas Acosta. I'm from Miami Springs Senior High School, and I just wanted to, talk to you about this new program we have here at Miami Springs Senior High. It's a logistics academy. I'm going to go ahead and pass out some handouts, just so everyone has one and can follow along. Does the council, does everyone have one? I
Yeah.
just want to make sure.
Yeah. Here, you keep going. I'll hand them out.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
What you have to do.
All right. So basically, it's called the Prologis Trade and Logistics Academy. And basically what the academy is about is trade and logistics. We're teaching students how to drive forklifts, how to do shipping and receiving in the warehouse, and also how to, pursue a career in logistics. It's a 4-year academy over at Miami Springs Senior High School, and I'll show you a little bit more about it. It was founded by Prologis, which is a company, it's the biggest holder of industrial real estate in the world. They gave the school about $350,000 to start the academy. So, when they give us money, we name them after me, right? So it's a NAV certified academy, which is it's a national certification that certifies academies around the high schools, and it's a very prestigious certification. So we're working on getting that, but we're very confident that we should be able to secure that. This is a video. I'm not going to show it, just in the interest of time. It's basically something similar that they're doing in California, but we want to outdo those guys. So, all right. So, this is what I mentioned before. It was created in partnership with the Beacon Council, the Miami-Dade Beacon Council, the Trade and Logistics Committee, and Miami-Dade County Public Schools. And the vice president of Prologis for marketing here in Miami, he was on the Beacon Council Trade and Logistics Committee. So he stepped up, and as part of their community-wide initiative, gave us the money to start the academy here at Miami Springs. And basically, it prepares students for the college, university level, or trades, so they can get a job after high school. Gives them, if they don't want to go to college, or if they do, gives them options. Gives them a skills so that way they can get a job right after high school. And obviously, the reason why we came up with this academy here is you can see the 2 pictures there on the presentation. You have the Port of Miami and Miami International Airport, which we're right next to. So obviously we need folks trained in those career fields so that way they can fill those jobs in the future. All right, a little bit about myself. Born and raised in Miami Springs Senior High School. I'm also a Miami Springs alumni. It's a great honor to come back and help out my high school in any way I can. I used to work in the industry. I worked for Atlas Air Cargo, moving explosives for the United States Air Force. They're on a contract with us, so we moved their cargo. I used to get permits, overflight permits. From the flights would come out of all the different Air Force bases. So Dover, Norfolk, Travis Air Force Base in California, and then I would get the permits, the overflight permits over Ireland, Germany, the Norway, a bunch of different countries in Europe, because then that plane would stop in Germany and go the rest of the way to Afghanistan or Kuwait or wherever the troops needed the stuff. So it's a great honor for me to help the Air Force. And I also worked at Southern Wine and Spirits, moving wine, beer, and spirits, so I have a lot of experience when it comes to brokerage and logistics and trucking and all that. So I like to tell people I used to move booze and explosives, the two things that make the world go around.
But not at the
right?
same time, right?
Not at the same time. All right. And I'm also part of a lot of different organizations, like the Florida Customs Brokers and Forwarders Association. I'm on their education committee. I'm on the Miami-Dade Beacon Council, their talent committee for the trade and logistics. And I'm also on the Chamber of Commerce here in Miami Springs. So definitely trying to, help out in a civic way as well. All right, so the academy works this way, right? So it's a 4-year academy. The kids, they start off, they do 2 years of general logistics. They get a good general understanding of logistics, and then they kind of specialize into one of these 3 career paths, right? So you got the first one, which is warehousing inventory management. So I have a partnership with Kelly Tractor. They can get their forklift certification because there's simulators at the school. They get 3 to 4 years of practice in the simulator, and then they get certified. And then you have, they can also go the trucking route. So I also have a partnership with Miami Lakes Tech, and they can get their CDL. So those are jobs that they can get right out of high school. And you're looking at, driving the forklifts about $13 an hour, $15 an hour in some places. And working in the warehouse, you're looking at $15 to $18 an hour in the warehouse. So it's pretty good, right out of high school. It's more than I made working at Sobrages, making $7 an hour. So not too bad. So then you also have, the other option, which is logistics and supply chain operations, which is more of working in the office, operations management, customs brokerage, trucking brokerage, that kind of stuff. What I tell the kids is either you sweat or you don't sweat, you're still going to make money, right? So those are the 2 career paths. And then the 3rd career path is for kids that are more analytically driven, math, statistics, those kind of types. So, that's an option for them. I got friends in those fields in industrial engineering and data analysis, so I have curriculum for them too. So the class kind of caters to all different levels of kids, right? So a lot of opportunity there. These are some of the certifications that they're going to get when they graduate, which is a certified logistics technician. It's basically certified logistics technician means they get 2 years of general logistics, they have a good understanding, and then OSHA, as we know, is safety. So it's a good certification. Actually, the kids are already learning about OSHA, super important, as we all know. They know how to report accidents in the warehouse already, and they also are working on their resumes as freshmen. So they get real job skills in the academy. All right, and coming from the industry, these are a bunch of certifications that I'm going to eventually get into the program. Your forklift, CDL, blockchain, which is a big one that's coming down the pike. And I'm always talking to industry. I go to a lot of events to make sure that we're at the cutting edge of all this. So that way, when they come out of the academy, they're very well prepared and very employable. If not, they can start their own business. All right, some of our industry partners, obviously Prologis. You have A Customs Brokerage, which he's a Miami Springs resident, owns his own company. You got the Port of Miami, Miami International Airport. Magaya, which is going to give us free software for the warehouse, so that way when the kids print out labels, we do shipping and receiving in the warehouse. You can see it on your handout, which I'll show you a little bit later. These are some of our pipelines. Obviously, we're working with the middle school, Miami Springs Elementary, and also Springview. So that way we create pipelines to this academy and also to the different academies at the high school. I don't know if anyone's aware, but we do have a hospitality academy at the high school. We have a student here from that academy. This is Jesus Rodriguez. We also have a law academy. We have a, let me see what else we got. We have a health academy as well. So we're definitely working on creating pipelines. So we think that's the future at Miami Springs Senior High is academies. Because when you give a kid a purpose, all of a sudden everything changes. Everything they learn in school goes towards that purpose. So if a kid wants to be a doctor, he or she goes to the health academy, right? And they follow that track and they go to college and, all of a sudden their attitude changes and they see purpose in what they're learning and everything they're doing. So definitely something important to us. All right, we have internships. This is paid for and insured by Miami-Dade County Public Schools, so at no cost. So if anyone here owns a business and is interested in getting interns from us or from any high school in Miami-Dade County Public Schools, this is definitely an opportunity for you. You know, starting at age 15, we get these kids into companies. So before it used to be in college that they would get internships, right? But now we're starting that trend in high school because it helps the kids mature. It helps them connect what they learn in the classroom to the real world. So this is a really good opportunity. All right, this is my contact information. We're on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're extremely active when it comes to, you know, promoting our academy and putting content out there. So real quick, I'm just going to go through the handout that I have there. Just wanted to. So on the front, you can see all the different organizations that we're part of. You know, if I go out there and I hustle, I try to get these kids opportunities because what I tell the kids is, I'm getting you a job. I'm not giving you a class. So all of a sudden, they buy in, and you know, they see purpose in it. So those are all the different organizations. On the second page, you can see we have 132 kids. So it's our first year. We've been around for only 2 months, really, and we've done really well with recruiting. So the kids are buying in. They're really enjoying the class. And I just wanted to show you the last page real quick in closing. You can see the kids in the warehouse. You can see pictures of the classroom. And you can see on the first part, obviously with the hurricane affecting the Bahamas, you can see the kids are taking what they learn in class, and they're packaging all the stuff, you know, all the relief supplies, and they help the teachers. The teachers love it because they don't have to lift a finger anymore in the school, right? I get my kids to do everything, all the moving and all that. So they package all the hurricane supplies. You can see the pictures there. And then on the bottom, you can see the kids working in the classroom doing shipping and receiving. You can see on the second picture there in the middle, you can see the forklift simulators there. Anyone who's in this room can come by anytime, and I'll put you in there. I'm telling you, that thing is my best recruiting tool. I put a kid in there, and they're hooked right from day one. So it's great. And then you can see the classroom as well. The kids learn on the computer. So that's what basically the day-to-day looks like. And the last picture on the bottom right, I call it MSSH Logistics. So the kids go around the school. They do deliveries. They help the lady that does the purchasing, receiving. They do deliveries to the teachers. Anything that needs to be moved in the school, the kids do it. So the classroom is very dynamic. They learn on the computer. They learn the forklift. They learn doing shipping and receiving. And they move stuff around the school. So that's everything for me. Thank you very much. I
Very
appreciate
good.
your time.
Thank you.
Through the chair, Mr. Acosta, if I might ask.
Yes, sir.
Is this done in conjunction with someone in high school? You mentioned 15 years old. That's the opening of when they can go to this academy?
Yes. So
I
recruit.
guess I'm wondering if it's separate from going to high school and doing the curriculum, or is it inclusive of?
It's inclusive of, yes, sir. So we recruit freshmen and sophomores, and it's basically a class that they take, and then they're 4 years. And if they recruit them as freshmen, we start them off as freshmen, and then they take the class for the 4 years. Jesus here is a sophomore, and he takes the class. He started as a sophomore, but he's going to be a program completer after 3 years.
Sounds credible. Wish you well, sir.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Mayor, if I may, Mr. Acosta, I just wanted to
Yes, ma'am.
say thank you for bringing this to you and Miami Springs Senior High, to bringing this to our community.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of young kids that find no reason to stay in high school. They want to get out and they want to get money, and this really, I know, will keep them in school and make them much more marketable when they get out with their high school degree. You're preparing them for a career.
Thank you.
And it's been a long time that we need to respect the trades much more than we do. Not
Absolutely.
everyone needs to get a college degree. There are a lot of very respectable trades out there. And this will work in that vein to bring appreciation to those jobs. So thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it.
There's no cost to the student, right?
No,
that
not
was
at all.
just part of the curriculum.
The only thing we do have is a class fee of $10. That's just for tape, because I have every class they go and do shipping and receiving. We go through tape, boxes, paper, all that, and on my salary, it's not gonna happen. So.
Well, you're doing a great thing.
Thank you.
I wish I had
appreciate
something
that.
like this when I was going to school.
Yeah,
I really
no,
do.
definitely. We see the need, and we're trying to fill it. So,
Nick,
thank you.
I have a
Thank you.
question.
Yes, sir.
This is in lieu of an elective, right? This is how it works, right? They take away your elective and...
Yes, sir. Yeah, actually, I don't know if you guys know David Ryan. He used to be the woodshop teacher at Miami Springs Senior High.
Wrestling coach? Wrestling coach.
Yes, and also the wrestling coach as well. So he was actually a teacher of mine, and that old classroom, we turned it into the logistics lab now. So yeah, I keep in contact with him. He loves what we've done with it. He's come and seen it, and he's doing fantastically well. So, if anyone was wondering.
I have a
All right, thank
question
you.
as well.
Appreciate
I have
it.
a question as well.
Sure,
Picture.
absolutely.
I don't see a picture of a pallet jack.
There are pallet jacks. There should be
Not here.
on the bottom right.
No. Oh, there it is, a red one. Wow, I didn't see that.
Got two red ones.
That
Yeah.
was the pants, the guy's pants.
That's all right.
So you,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
say you have 132 students. So in order for them to get industry certification, they have to go through all the years that they're in high school in this program, correct?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
And is that considered a career technical education piece?
Yes,
as far as
absolutely.
Miami-Dade County Public Schools defines that?
Yes, we work very, very closely with Lupe Diaz and Bob Quinn and Ann Fields, and we work under the Career and Technical Education branch.
Okay, I
Yes,
want to
ma'am.
go visit. I'm going to call you.
Anytime. My card's there. Anyone is welcome to come by. You guys have my card. My cell phone's there. Reach out. I'd love to have you in the classroom.
Thank you,
Anytime.
man.
Thank you, everyone.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Very nice. You don't have to stay now. You can go if you want to.
Gotta get up early. Mayor, you remember when we invited him?
Yeah, I was at the baseball game. When,
Yeah, that's right.
He was supposed to call me, though. He never did.
Well, I got a hold of him.
Yeah.
When did I get a hold of you? The last, the Chamber of Commerce. Yeah, I
Maybe
told
you
him.
did send me an email or something. No, I don't think you ever contacted me. I said, yeah. Well, okay, that's the F presentation. Now we're to G. This is the October artist display in City Hall lobby. Is Robert Holmes, and he's here. I don't know if he wants to say a few words or it's up to you.
I really didn't come to say
Okay,
to
then that's
speak.
okay.
I want to thank the city for giving me the opportunity to display my pictures again.
There you go.
And
Well, we appreciate it, and that's all the pictures in the lobby are yours.
yes, they are.
And
They're
I hope you sell them all.
very unique and different kind of pictures. These are Gigapan. They're huge, huge pictures. So normally, when you take a picture with a camera, you can blow it up to about 16 by 20 or a good portrait size
Right.
picture. And beyond that, you're stretching it, and it begins to get fuzzy. And my pictures, you can print them on a billboard and put your nose on it and see sharp detail.
Well, I don't want to
I mean,
put my
that's-
nose
that's
on
how much-
anything, but that's okay.
They're called Gigapan.
There you go. Well, we appreciate it.
But thank you very much.
Okay.
Nice work.
Good to be here again.
Nice work.
You want me to take a picture with him?
Well,
Mr. Bob.
Okay, we have open forum. This is people wishing to speak and give us a hug when they come up.
Hug day.
James? Mills? James.
James Mills, Jim
Mills.
Mills, Jim Mills.
James Mills. You know your name there or something?
Mills.
Oh.
You guys are going to go together? Yeah. Okay. Please don't.
Okay, I'm Aldo Saavedra. I'm here representing our local Miami Springs, Hialeah Miami Springs Rotary Club. I'm not going to say much. I have a really good excuse. You know, I was there at my work, and Charlie comes by, and he's like, I need you to come tonight to the meeting. I'm like, okay, I'll go support. As soon as I get here, he's like, put your name down, you're speaking. Okay, so, well, here I am. I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about Rotary. A lot of times people, you know, talk about the local civic organizations, and Rotary is so much more than that. It has 1.2 million members worldwide. A lot of times you go to different airports, and the first thing you see is the wheel, the Rotary wheel. It's the only organization in the world that that's a non-government entity, and it has a seat in the United States, in the United Nations. Bill Gates is a member of Rotary. He's donated over $600 million. And And also, one of the greatest accomplishments is that back in 1985, Rotary took on to fight polio. And it's the only civic organization that's almost rid the world of a disease. We're, 99% polio-free. So anyway, Charlie came a couple months ago and asked us to support, the Rotary Club to support putting lights down on Westward Drive. And so some of the business owners stepped up and decided that they were going to go ahead and, put the bill and pay for that. So we have Tom Webb, Charlie Leonard, John Kenny, and myself that we're going to go ahead and cover that bill.
You're talking about the lights.
Yes.
Not the electric.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to
Hey,
talk
listen,
about the
I
electric.
didn't forget to prepare, so.
Okay. I don't want
Anyway,
you to.
I'll
I
pass
don't
on-
want you to commit to something that they didn't commit to. You're
I am committed to whatever Charlie decided that we are committed
Okay,
to.
but John Kenny and Charlie.
That was
okay?
Charlie's idea.
I'm just being careful what you say in public,
No,
because
okay, okay.
It's not like Vegas. What you say in this room goes everywhere.
Yeah. Okay, so Charlie's committed. No, just kidding. Anyway, Charlie, I'll
You're on
pass the floor
fire,
on to
man.
you.
Huh?
You're on fire.
Charlie?
So what do you want me to commit?
Well,
What do you want me to commit Aldo to?
Well, whatever you, no, whatever you're,
Electric bill.
whatever you're going to do. I mean, we know what you're committed to.
Yeah,
What we got to talk about later on in the meeting is what to go ahead and allocate, have the manager, if council wants to, have the manager go for some quotes to see how much it's going to cost to put the electric in. So we put aside $20,000 for it. But you never know. We got to make sure how much it's going to be. So the next step would be, if we'll discuss it, if we vote to go ahead and have him get quotes for the situation, and then you got to come up with the lights.
Right, well, we just wanted to come back and recommit to you that we will provide the lights.
Gotcha.
Like Aldo said, we're committed to doing that and light up Westwood Drive. I think it'll be very nice for the city, for the businesses on Westwood Drive. And it's something that maybe once they're up and everyone likes it, the city may decide to keep them up year-round like many other cities do, you know, like Los Olas Boulevard, just to name one. But it'll change the whole feel for this whole, area.
You gotcha.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for doing this. Take care. Sure, go ahead.
My name is James Mills, and I'm a resident at 651 Plover Avenue. I just wanted to support our effort, say that I support the effort, and the $40,000 that potentially or is set aside, reserved,
20.
pending.
20.
20. Oh, 20. All right. I have bad hearing, so, and I hate hearing aids.
I think he adds better than some people in there. That's what I think it is.
Is that it? I wanted to ask Mr. Alonso, is that just for the placement and removal, or does that include cost of electric, or?
No, that's just to run electric to the median on both blocks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
It
has to be
involves-
constructed.
It involves boring and all that.
Yeah, directional
so-
boring.
Right.
Yeah, okay. All right. That's all I had. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you. That was the end of
Thank you.
open forum. We're going to go down this meeting, keep going.
Mayor, could we move, she's back here, Julie, at the back, about the bike
Do you,
scavenger
you
hunt?
want to bypass
Can we move
the?
that?
Yeah, okay. Come on.
So she doesn't, right, so she doesn't have to wait so long.
That's 11B.
Mhm.
Sure.
Okay, so thank you for having me back. Gabriel wasn't able to make it, but I'm here either way for both of us, so it's okay. One thing that we wanted to go ahead and talk about, which we talked about last time, but we need to talk about again, is actually the date. Turns out that November 17th is the Blessed Trinity Festival. So that is one of those things that we just, we wouldn't even want to even consider doing something during that weekend. So we wanted to actually proceed with January 18th. It gives us plenty of time even to prepare, really make sure it's even a nicer event, and allow us to make this something more organic and fluid for the actual event.
Okay, January 18th.
January 18th, and as I said in my memo, I got together with the chief, and to provide 3 officers for the 4-hour event is about $360.
Okay. So we can entertain a motion to grant the January 18th date and 3 officers to help. 3 officers or 4?
Three.
3 officers to support the event.
Because they're
Entertain a
getting
motion.
3
Mo-
from VG also. So it'll be a
Yeah,
total of
but
6.
ours
is 3.
Right.
For $320, you're saying?
Right.
Motion to move the item, sir.
Second. Call a vote, please.
Vice Mayor Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilwoman Zapata?
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda?
Yes.
Mayor Bain?
Yes. That's the 18th is a Saturday? Okay.
You're on, Julie.
There you
Thank
go.
you, Judy. And thank you for all the activities you do in the springs all the time.
Yeah, same to
Yeah,
you.
that's it. Yeah.
Okay, we go to regular council meetings. Do we have to move anything else up? There was something else?
Pelican
I
Playhouse?
think that was it.
I don't
No.
think so.
They're not even
They're
here.
not here. No. Okay, we go to approval of council minutes, September 23rd, 2019, regular meeting.
Through the chair, motion to move 6A.
Second it.
Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilwoman Zapata?
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda?
Yes.
Mayor Bain?
Yes, we go to appointment and advisory boards, mayor and council, vice mayor, council vote. I guess I need a vote for Sydney Gardner. I talked to her between karaoke songs, and she said she would love to serve on the board, but I need one of you. We need to vote on it because she's overpassed her.
Is this ecology?
No, this is for
And
his.
There's 2 members. Jorge Santin, which is the Recreation
George
Commission,
Santin,
which
yeah.
they haven't met in
Right.
a while, but he needs to be renewed, and Historic Preservation Board, Sydney Garden.
Yes, I can't make the motion.
Motion to approve Sydney Garden and the other member.
Can I get a
So
second?
George Santin is the other one?
George
Yeah.
Santin.
Yeah, I'll second that, sir.
Second. Can we call the vote?
Vice Mayor Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilwoman Zapata?
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda? Mayor Bain?
Yes. We go on to public hearings. We don't have any tonight. And now we go on to the consent agenda.
Yes, Mayor and Council, as we do every October, we open up new purchase orders for various departments. What I would suggest is that if there are any particular items Council wants to discuss, we pull those now, and then we just vote on the rest of the consent agenda as a block. The only change I have is on item 9Y, which is a tree trimming. Instead of Distributors, Inc., it actually should have said BTS Land Services, which is the company that we're currently using.
Instead of tree,
Instead of Distributors, it's BTS Land Services.
okay, let's pull that one, and we'll vote that on its own
Okay.
and make a motion the right way on it. Okay, we'll pull that. We're going to pull Y. Any
9Y.
other consent agenda items that anybody wants to discuss? I mean, these are all the things that we voted on
Already
anyway.
agreed on.
Exactly.
So, does anybody want to give me a motion on it?
Through the chair, Mayor, motion placed to move 9A through 900, accepting 9Y.
Except 9Y. I
I'll
got a
second it.
second.
Second.
Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilwoman Zapata?
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda?
Yes.
Mayor Bain?
Yes. Okay, so now we're going to go on to 9Y and read it as.
9Y would be a recommendation by Public Works that Council authorize the issuance of a purchase order to BTS, that's B as in boy, T as in Tom, S as in Sam, Land Services, utilizing City of Hollywood Contract F443-15-RD in an amount not to exceed $100,000 for the purchase, tree trimming, delivery, and installation of various trees throughout the city as funds were budgeted in the fiscal year 1920 budget pursuant to Section 3111E5 of the City Code.
Okay. I entertain a motion.
Motion to,
We'll do it
go with this
we'll do it by the
9Y.
book. A motion and we'll discuss. I got a motion. Did I get a second?
You have a second, sir.
All right.
For discussion?
discussion.
Thank you. William, I'm understanding that BTS Landscaping Services replaces distributors?
Correct.
How we originally had passed it in the budget?
No, we've been using BTS
Right.
for a few months now because
Correct.
distributors couldn't do most of the work. Tom's here and he can.
Okay.
But that's the current company we're using now. What happened when they prepared the memo for this? The lady that prepared the memo kept thinking of distributors and put their name in instead of BTS.
No, it's a
Land
type,
Services.
more than a type. Okay, gotcha.
You need to talk to Tom?
I don't. Oh, Tommy, please.
Just for the record, we did come in for $200,000 for street tree trimming this year. We're trying to negotiate with distributors to come on board with the Hollywood contract so that we can have two separate companies in here to get through a lot of our trimming and issues a little quicker. We just haven't had a meeting yet. I'm holding the other 100,000 just in case they decide not to come in. Then we'll reallocate the fundings to BTS.
So then once you finish negotiating with them, you'll come back to us and we'll have the other
Correct,
removal.
correct. We'll have a motion for either distributors or we'll reallocate the
You're
other.
gonna have two companies under the
Correct,
budget.
correct.
Got
That
it.
way, because they can't be in the city all the time.
Sure.
And it's creating some conflict, so we're trying to
Gotcha.
do some comparison shopping and get a little bang for our buck here.
There you go.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Nice shirt, Tom.
Thank you.
Very nice. We go to, so we voted on that? No, call a vote.
Vice Mayor Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilwoman Zapata?
Yes.
Councilman Petralanda?
Yes.
Mayor Bain?
Yes, we go to,
Mayor, can we move up 11D so that Omar can also get out of here early?
Omar.
Okay. This is a consideration of the renewal to extend the Pelican Playhouse agreement for another year.
Okay, and this is budgeted in the budget?
Yes.
Yes, so, okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion
through
to
the-
move,
Somebody-
motion to move item 11D, correct?
Yes.
D.
I'll second 11D, sir.
All right, any discussion?
I have a question for
Omar, please. One question up here, maybe two.
Mhm. Maybe a hug? Depending on- We should be, you know what, we should try to give more hugs, I think.
At the
all
end
us
of the
here,
meeting,
don't
at
you
the
think?
end
At the end of the meeting,
Oh,
group
yeah,
hug.
yeah,
Yeah.
right, and then I
Group
gotta go
hug.
home.
What are we
Um,
talking?
With the Pelican Playhouse, are we filling to capacity? Do we have, what can you tell me about the enrollment? Or is that something I should ask Ralph? With, as far as,
If it's in reference to his program,
Uh-huh.
I'd probably ask you to ask Ralph, yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you how much they have. I know they do have, you know, a decent amount of kids in their program on Saturdays there, but I couldn't tell you registration numbers exactly what he has.
Okay.
But from just me being there on Saturdays, there is traffic there.
Mhm.
It's not
Oh,
like
I
there's
know,
one or
I
two
know, he
kids.
does, right.
There's a decent
Yes,
group
he's
of
got a
kids.
good group and a good group, a following of adults
Correct.
too that participate, which is great.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Thanks, Omar. Okay, I got a first and a second.
You do, sir.
Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilwoman Zapata?
Yes.
Councilman Petralanda?
Yes.
Mayor Bain?
Yes, we go to 11A, resolution.
There's a resolution of the City Council of the City of Miami Springs providing for the first amendment to the fiscal year 1920 General Fund and Special Revenue and Capital Projects Fund budget by reappropriating reserved fund balances to fund open encumbrances through September 30th, 2019, and providing for an effective date. As we do every year, this is just done to carry over open purchase orders from last year to the current fiscal year.
Right. I entertain a motion
Through the chair, motion to move 11A.
Second it.
for discussion. Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilwoman Zapata?
Yes.
Councilman Petralanda?
Yes.
Mayor Bain?
Yes. We did a 11A, 11B.
I think that kind of covered that with
We did-
Julie, didn't we?
That was the bike? Yeah, we did
11C
11B.
Yes, we've done all those.
We're in 11C?
We're in 12.
11C,
Oh.
consideration by council to approve the Department of Elder Affairs contract for the $850,000 funding for the construction of the new senior center. This is the agreement for the funding we received from the state this year.
And we
Motion to
needed-
approve 11C.
This is 11C.
Yeah, very good. I need a second.
Oh, you have-
Second it. I'll second it.
Second. Now, this is the money that's coming for the
For the-
construction of the senior center
Correct.
Right.
from the state.
Right, from the
So
state.
you like to vote on the big number ones, right? You like to
No,
put
sir, I'd
your-
like to vote on the seniors.
Okay, any discussion?
None, sir.
Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilwoman Zapata?
Yes.
Councilman Petralanda?
Yes.
Mayor Bain?
Yes, we go to a vote of confidence for the city manager as required. We do the vote of confidence now?
For him, he's separate.
October, every year in
Yeah, yeah,
October.
yeah, yeah.
He was laying low with that one, huh?
Well, I
It
didn't.
just creeped
I,
up on
I
us.
kind of,
Kind of snuck up, snuck up on you?
kind of got the woolies about this already. I didn't even think about it, man. I'll entertain a motion.
I think,
Motion to move with a vote of confidence
don't
for
have-
William. I think he always responds.
Let's get a second first.
Okay.
You have a second, second right here.
Go ahead, Maria.
The two
Okay, I would
ladies, did
just
you
like
see
to
that?
say that William always responds all hours. Sometimes I'll send him an email, not planning for him to look at it till Monday morning, and he's already an hour later responding on a weekend or late after hours. And you juggle a lot of different tasks, and you wear a lot of hats, and you do it very well. So thank you. And you always answer my questions.
And you put up with a lot of different personalities up here.
I can tell you this, the city of Miami Springs ought to be awfully glad that we have a man of his capability. That's all I can say.
So it takes him an hour to answer you? It takes him 5 minutes to answer me?
No.
Ooh.
Whoa.
A1A, like a school teacher. Well, my favorite part is having conversations with him on Sundays.
On Sunday.
When I find something, I call him. Even Sunday, he's available. He always has time for me.
You called me on a Saturday night, too.
I call you Saturday nights, too.
I talk
He
on
never
Saturday.
wants
I
to
talk
go
on
out,
Saturday
though. He
night.
always just wants to stay home. He's so unsocial. He doesn't want to go out or nothing. But, William, I appreciate everything you do. There's a lot of things this time around, like the sandbags, and some people think it's not a big deal, but he was already ahead of the curve when we needed to be.
Yeah.
Before I could even express my, he's already there.
He had
So
it done.
we appreciate it.
He's been through it.
And I know the residents appreciate it, too. They do. So I have a first and a second. Call a vote, please.
Vice Mayor Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilwoman Zapata?
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda?
Yes.
Mayor Bain?
Yes. We have anything from the city attorney today?
We got 12B.
wait,
We did it already.
No, not yet.
Oh, 12B, this is request for the lighting, Vice Mayor Mitchell for the lighting project, Westford Drive. I mean, I expressed what we should do.
I would like to thank you, Mayor, for recommending that we ask the city manager. I know you got one quote for 20,000. It's possible that we could get lower quotes. That was just a one
Hopefully,
quote.
hopefully.
But, this is something that the business community, that our business owners on Westward Drive have brought up of ways that they want to contribute to make Westward Drive more attractive, nicely lit at night, and hopefully we'll keep it throughout the year. It'll certainly encourage us as residents to stroll past there at night. Right now, it's very desolate once it gets dark. And, it's hard to know what comes first, the chicken or the egg, but maybe by being well lit and attractive, more businesses will be able to stay on Westward Drive and open up in the evenings. So,
Okay, so we're going to go ahead. You need a motion for this? A motion to explore or to get,
I think the manager with consensus can continue.
okay, we want to go ahead and
Consensus.
consensus to
Yeah.
go ahead and get some quotes and
Yeah.
give us an idea how much it's really going to cost.
I'll be back at the next meeting with some numbers.
Okay. And I think that also to research about when the water and sewer stuff is all going to be done too.
Yeah.
So that we're not, that's done before we, besides quotes, that way we can schedule when we would want to do it. Because you won't want to do it when they're still tearing up and everything on
Well,
the roads.
no, they're currently working, the last section they have is Hook Square and North Royal Point Sienna.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, Curtis Parkway, from Harvest Moon to the church.
Okay.
That's the last two areas they have. But as far as doing the roads, it probably won't be until January or February.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, because now they have, once they hook that up, they have to do all kinds of water testing and all that. And he was telling us we're looking at probably January or February before they start repaving the road.
Okay.
and then they'll put in the pedestrian crosswalks at the corners.
Everything.
That should be.
Yes, then the county, once that's done, then the county, originally they were looking at October to start the circle project. That's probably gonna be delayed until water and sewer is
It's
finished.
done, of course. It should
Yeah.
be.
That makes perfect
Right.
sense.
Okay. All right. But that's that. Okay, city attorney, anything from you?
Not as of yet. I have an update later on this month on a couple things that are happening, but
Gotcha.
I'm not ready tonight.
And city manager, anything from you?
Oh, just some upcoming events. We all know the pumpkin patch is underway, and so is the Farmers Market. We also have the Miami Springs Board Gaming Society at the Rec Center, October 5th and 19th is the next date. Yoga classes on October 23rd. And then we have the Haunted Happenings events for Halloween. We have the Spooktacular Costume Contest. That's Friday, October 25th, 7 p.m. at the Rebecca Sosa Theater. And then we have the Howl of Springs, Saturday, October 26th, at the Circle from 5 to 9 p.m. So you can contact Recreation for that. And then, of course, the Miami Springs Police Department is having an event on Saturday, October 26th, at the Community Police Office for anybody that wants to turn in their unused or expired medications for safe disposal. They can do it at that time. And I just wanted to thank you, all of you, for the trust and confidence you've shown me, and I appreciate your comments. Thank you.
More than welcome, sir.
Anything from you, Councilman Best, tonight?
Nothing tonight, sir. Thank you.
Anything from Councilwoman Zapata?
No.
Anything from the Vice Mayor?
Congratulations, Vice Mayor, by the way. That's right, the gavel moved over.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just two things. First, I know Paul's here, and I wanted to comment on, thank you, Paul, for your input in redoing the pro shop at the golf course. It is absolutely stunning. What a difference that makes, that entrance. And I know that you were heavily involved in, making sure the design and how attractive it is. So appreciate that with you and William and the staff. And then the other thing is I got this in the mail. So thank you, William. I think this is great, getting out to all the residents, asking them to sign up for the emergency alerts. I hope a lot of residents do this. It's a great opportunity to try to get as much contact as we can in emergency situations, which is always a challenge. And that's it.
I'd just like to acknowledge Mikey's efforts for arranging the Margaret Watson's proclamation on Saturday. The mayor and myself went, and it was outstanding. The family was here. They were very thankful, and I think you deserve the credit, Mikey. And William, did you mention the street signing for Mary Ann Gooden Taylor?
Yeah.
You did?
We have that. I didn't mention it, but we have that on the schedule.
October 17, that's a Thursday at 4:30.
And I was letting Erica know that the sign has already been uncovered. We might want to cover it for that day.
We'll take care of that, yeah. We have a special thing to do.
That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
When we did for Margaret, it was real nice. Her grandson, was it her grandson?
Yeah.
Her grandson's wife is named Sweet Tea.
Sweet Tea, I heard that.
Sweet Tea?
Sweet Tea's her name.
What's her last name? I mean, Tom.
Weir. Sweet Tea Weir. Sweet Tea. So when she's in a restaurant, Tom Curtis, he's always asking for sweet tea. Now I know why. He's sweet tea. But the pumpkin patch was great. We had a good time. I know the barbecue, the Optimus barbecue thing. I was bartender, and I probably served 400 glasses of beer. It was a great success. 10 or 12 teams. Fire department said next year they're going to put at least 4 more, maybe more. Next year they're all excited to do it again, and it was a real nice event. Everything came out good, and the food was very good. The cook who cooked the ribs and the dinner, they actually went on lunch. They sold all the lunch tickets where they had to bring the tickets back in and resell them. So it might be a real nice kickoff for that to be a nice event every year to go on. And we want to congratulate Tom Curtis for this weekend. He played in a Hard Rock Hold'em poker tournament. What place did you come in? I won't mention about money or anything. What place? Came in 4th place out of what, 1,000 people?
Really?
Huh? More than 1,000 people came in 4th place. As you can tell, if you look at him, look at that poker face. That's the first time I've seen him laugh in 2 years. He's so happy. But congratulations, Tom. That it's really an accomplishment. I don't care, that's pretty neat to do that, because I can't even make 2nd place where I play poker, and there's only 10 people.
He won't be laughing after the Notre Dame plays Michigan this coming weekend.
Well, we'll see. But everybody, God bless. I think what, Halloween, we'll meet before Halloween.
October 28th is the next meeting.
Before Halloween.
At the house.
I wish that all y'all would wear your costumes and let's everybody hug.
Check.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm not hugging.
You just said let's everybody hug you.
That's
the mayor.
everybody. I just said the mayor has to hug.
Come on,
My
give
wife,
us a mayor
I can
hug.
just see my wife.
She's not
watching
gonna
on
care.
TV.
Come on, give us a mayor hug. Come on, man.
Get out of here.
Come on, man.